Welcome into the Family Goals Podcast. Thank you for listening. Welcome to Season 7. We are so excited to talk more about some kind of table. What'd you say?
So today we're talking about the King's Table, and we're talking about the three people that you want to have around your table. Everybody needs a Jonathan, a Nathan, and a Joab.
Welcome to the table.
Welcome to the Family Goals Podcast with David Pollack and Pastor Jay. Bro, we are at Season 7.
God's number, perfect. Great number to be at.
It's the perfect podcast.
And now we have an official studio that we're building. I mean, because remember, we are on video, Pastor Jay. This is called a camera.
Yeah.
And the camera, this stuff, they post it online, on the line, and then it goes to YouTube. You know what that is?
I do know what YouTube. What do you think?
Can search videos and stuff. So we built this brand new studio. We got it. I'm glad too, because now you got to drive to me.
I like driving to you. Yeah. So we graduated over the years. We were in the little closet in the staff house.
It was a little closet.
And then we moved to the bigger closet at the church.
Yeah, baby.
And now we're in, I mean, this isn't even a closet. This is like your basement.
This is beautiful.
And fully designed podcast. I mean, this is fancy. This is nice.
Moving on up.
I hear you're getting us a desk and everything.
Yeah, we're gonna get a big desk and all. It's still obviously you can tell a work in progress.
Are we gonna put like family goals?
We might even get a family
goal
goals sign.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, so walking through your basement, it's like a shrine to David Pollack. It's like all this David Pollack stuff everywhere.
Get my name out your mouth, man. Come on. You gonna start like that? We're gonna start the podcast like this for the new season.
I did like that Bengals.
Bengals?
Yeah,
What's
Bengals. Bengals.
Bengals?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah.
That's
You still pull for the
Cajun.
Bengals?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase.
It's hard not to. T.
they're-
Higgins, they got a little contract dispute going on.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot going on, but Burrow's just covering Burrow. He's one of the more fun stories ever. He was just interesting, different. He got, transferred. Nobody knew who he was, had a decent year, and then all of a sudden takes the SEC by storm and college football by storm. And so he was a cool story, but we're good, man. How's the crew, man?
His dad bet on him before the season to win the Heisman.
Is that legal?
Joe Burrow.
How much did he bet?
Like he bet like $1,000, and he made like I don't know, 100,000
at least.
Yeah, but it's like
He wasn't even in the mix.
I don't know
Good
what
for
the
him.
odds were, but
look at Dad. Dad believed in son. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm loving the new digs. I love driving over here. Like we're going big time now. What's the church? Like the church had the equipment, the church had the room, and then we had the staff of the church.
We had to outgrow the church. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
church
now
wasn't
we're
good enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I'm missing my boys.
Your boys and your girl Holly. Don't forget about Holly.
Oh yeah, Wojak and Jolyn and Holly.
Yep.
But we got this new guy Wes, so he still seems a little green.
Yeah.
He's still like figuring things out.
First day you're throwing Wes under the bus. That sounds like a great idea. But now, how you been, man? What's been new since the last time we talked?
Oh man, there's so much going on.
The summer sabbatical. You always take a summer sabbatical.
Summer sabbatical. We were off for the summer, so part of it. One of our best friend's sons got married at St. Simon's Island. He was a walk-on at Auburn. Played football for Auburn.
War Eagle.
Marries a University of Georgia cheerleader.
Smart.
She was a 4-year. She was super sharp girl. And so the wedding was St. Simon's Island. So our family went down there for the weekend. It's incredible.
Did you not? Did you do the wedding?
I officiated the wedding.
I'm about to say you always do.
So I officiated the wedding.
Do you ever go to weddings just as like a observer, or do you just officiate every wedding you go to?
Pretty much, I'm the aficionado.
Yeah, you totally butchered that. Whatever you're trying to say.
So it was.
How many
super
weddings
cool.
have you officiated?
Probably 100.
Wow,
100 weddings, something like that. I'm kind of a pro,
okay.
I guess. But they seemed pretty pleased with it. But it was a nice wedding and super excited for them.
Good free trip for you guys too.
It was a good free trip, man. They took care of everything. Put us up in like a 3-bedroom condo.
Dang.
Golf. I mean, the rehearsal dinner, the reception. It was like, this was probably the nicest, fanciest wedding I've ever been to.
Sweet.
And they're podcast listeners. Like,
are they?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, they're all.
Well, don't say anything bad.
They're all
then.
podcast
These
listeners.
guys were terrible.
So,
that's why he's bloviating about this right now. By
they
the way,
were
that's
awesome.
So hold on. Let me ask you real quick. Like, how's the golf game? So for y'all listeners out there, you don't know, Pastor Jay's been going through a little swing tweak, right? Like trying to His game was not great, not solid, but he wants to get spectacular. So he's been trying to tweak the swing. How's that going?
I'm having my ups and down days for sure. I went from a fade, the classic slice, classic, which you're very familiar with.
Yes, very familiar with.
And
unfortunately,
so I changed it to a draw.
Okay,
and so it's pretty much
we got a consistent
pretty
draw
much
now?
hit a draw. Not always consistent. Sometimes a shank will drop in there, and that really messes me up. I haven't broken par yet. 74 is my best. I'll shoot like.
Is that with the old swing or the new swing?
The new swing.
You got 74 with the new swing?
Yeah, new swing. Yeah, and I'll shoot like a 34 on the front nine. Like I'm like 2 under par on the front nine, then I get in my head on the back nine. So I'm like, I'm in the 70s a lot.
That's not bad.
A bad days 80, or low 80s. Good days somewhere in the 70s.
All right.
But having fun with it.
Sweet.
Having fun with it. So,
Meanwhile,
anytime you want to play. So I was talking to. So I reached out to Dot the other day.
Okay.
Dr. Merritt.
Yep.
He
James
said y'all
Merritt.
been playing a lot. I don't know if you heard his podcast interview with his son.
No.
His son Jonathan. It's
I didn't
really.
know Dr. Merritt has a podcast?
No, he was on a podcast. I'm not sure the name of it. The girl who runs it is Annie F. Downs. I can't remember the name of her podcast.
Okay.
But it was the first interview with Dr. Merritt and his son Jonathan, who is homosexual. So it was quite a fascinating interview. And the thing that blew me away, and I reached out to Doc, is unconditional love.
Yep.
Like he has chosen to love. He disagrees.
Yes.
From a biblical standpoint, from a ethical, moral, like all of that, they completely disagree. But he's chosen to love his son unconditionally, and he wants to be his son's best friend. He even quoted the proverb, there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Like he wants to be his son's best friend. And I thought they did an incredible job on the podcast. Now his son Jonathan didn't get into his biblical views to support his lifestyle, which I would have been interested in hearing.
Yeah.
But I did reach out to Doc, told him it was powerful, and because more and more and more I have families coming to me who are struggling with the same issue, with have a child that might.
But the first thing has to be unconditional love.
But it was
that's right. I mean that's the like I don't understand that. That's the first step to anything, and I think when you're younger, it's obviously dealing with different things. You kind of don't understand things near as much. But as you get older, you're like, okay, I gotta realize like sin is sin. And I think for me, what really, as I've gotten older, the thing that's gotten a little bit easier is to not like the sin, but still love the sinner, and separate the two. Mm-hmm. Like, because I'm a judgmental butthole sometimes, but just to be able to say like, I don't like what that person does, but that's not that person. It's just something that they do. There's a difference, and to separate the two, I think is good. But we're supposed to love everybody, and if you're a church going member. And if my brother who's on drugs, who can't figure out his life, can't step foot in your door and get love, where the heck is he going to go? Mm-hmm. If Dr. Merritt's son can't step in a door and be loved, where the heck is he going to go to get accepted? Like, it's not going to be good places. It's going to be places that aren't going to give them support and love like he should get. And with that comes a lifestyle that's a lot harder to be successful. And like, that's exactly what the church should be. It should be open arms, and we should be welcoming to all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, backgrounds, like no matter what you've done, because you got some stuff that you ain't proud of too. And you got some stuff that you live in that you ain't proud of.
I totally agree with you, and I agree with Dr. Merritt, but there had been several parents and families who, when this does happen to them, they don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
And some people...
I mean, I can imagine, can't you? Just imagine sitting down and that being a conversation you have with Jolyn. Like you'd be like, what the heck just happened, right? Like, I mean, it would take you out, and you would definitely have to compose your thoughts. But it's obviously more prevalent now, and going to continue to be because of our country.
And you don't know what you'll do until you're in that person's shoes. And I think that was a big part of the interview with Dr. Merritt. Is it's easy for other people to judge a certain family situation until it happens to your family, and so it's hard to.
I've learned
think
that.
about what would you do if you were in their shoes, and so. But I thought Dr. Merritt handled it tremendously. Of course, it's taken them years and years and years to
He's definitely my pastor I go to when I need something. Dr. James Merritt, he's a stud. I mean, he's just...
Well, your name came up on the podcast, and he was like, yeah, and then
that was a shot at Pastor Jay.
Yeah, and he was like, I've been hanging out with David Pollack. I've been playing golf with David Pollack. I was like, yeah, Pastor Jay goes on sabbatical, and Pollack runs and plays golf with this other pastor.
I found you're very replaceable. Just go find another guy to play golf with.
So this is a cool thing. So at that wedding, I was going to tell you, I met a guy named Anders Carlson, and he's the kicker for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
and he was a kicker at Auburn, and his older brother, Daniel Carlson.
He was a kicker at Auburn.
He beat LSU by himself one time with 6 field goals. They beat LSU like 18-14 or 18.
Why do you remember
15.
that really well?
I do remember that a lot.
LSU fan?
Because I'm a huge LSU fan. But anyway, Anders was a Christian. He had all these questions for me. He was asking about God calling me into the ministry, how many weddings I had done, and all.
That's
same
awesome.
question you asked me.
Yeah.
So I ended up sending him my discipleship books.
Nice.
The discipleship books, and just told him, hey, any way I can help him grow spiritually. So I'll definitely be pulling for him. I'm not sure if I'm doing fantasy football this year, but if I do fantasy football, I'm drafting him. Okay. I'm kind of over the fantasy football. It's
Does it change the way you watch football?
That's what I'm curious.
It does. It 100% does, because you cheer for your guy and you get selfish. And
I've been doing that for 20-something years, so I'm wondering what it would be like just to watch a game.
I love fantasy football.
Yeah.
I enjoy the draft process of fantasy football, but also we play with my mom, my dad, my uncle, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. Like, so Nicholas, my son, obviously my wife, like it's all
a whole family.
It's a family one, which is cool. Now listen,
cool.
like some of them are like my mom is she's very mid to cheeks. I mean, she's not very good at all in fantasy football, but like we talk back and forth, which is really fun. It just gives us another reason to communicate, which I think is always a win. But summer has been strange because now we are officially, like, Leah had basketball all summer. She's a high schooler. So I got 2 high schoolers. So I got a countdown now for 4 years of parenting now without having a kid in the house, which is very strange. And Nicholas had football. So, we've talked about youth league sports on this broadcast a lot, and I think we will continue to, because there's a lot of people that didn't hear us when we were in that closet back in the day. Nobody comes out of those closets. And so
we're coming out of the closet.
Yeah, baby. We are out fully of the closet. But I think it's interesting, dude. When you have kids and they're younger, like, enjoy your summers, man. Like, take trips as a family, let them do camps, let them do fun things. Because when you get older and you get in high school sports, it does take their times, and it takes your chances to get away and have vacations. So don't drag them all over the place. And I know some people are not going to listen. That's fine, but there'll be a time when it gets serious, and it shouldn't be when they're younger. So that's what we did all summer.
So your summer was sports.
It was a lot of sports.
You're coaching?
Coaching Leah in basketball, coaching Nicholas in football.
Yeah.
So I am a unpaid, solid lay coach.
How do you like coaching?
It's fun, man. It's really fun. Listen, I got 4 years with her and 3 years with him, and so and also I got a driver now. Nicholas is
driving.
So
is he driving on his own?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Thank God. I mean, this morning I was like, yes, take yourself to practice, because they had stuff before school. He drove Leah to church, this week, this past Sunday. So that's fun.
That's a huge shift in the family dynamics. I remember when Jolyn started driving, and he started driving Julia to school, and
it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like,
I love it.
Don't have to do it anymore.
I personally think it's fantastic. Now, it's interesting. Like, there's so many things you can get like like when Jolyn was a kid, you didn't have Life 360, did you?
No, we don't have that.
So it's an app that tells you exactly where they're at, how fast they're going, like how many times they break. Like, I have no desire to have that.
Yeah.
Like, I have less than zero desire to have that. I think it's really cool because it's just like, it's fun for me because, like, I remember being 16. That's the best birthday. Is there a better birthday than 16?
I don't know, 21?
No.
50?
50's definitely not it, old man. Golly. Like, but, I mean, 16 not the best? Like,
yeah, it is cool.
18 was fun.
Yeah.
You're an adult, but, like, there's not a lot that comes. Like, you get to drive, and you get to get your independence. So it's been fun, like, navigating, his independence. And
now, who taught Nicholas to drive?
We both did. No, we both did. Now, I would say this. He prefers to ride with me over Lindsay.
Is she more high strung?
A little, not in real life, but as a co-pilot, she's more. watch out. Well, I'm literally like texting, like and sitting back, and sometimes I'll take a nap when Nicholas, if I could equate Nicholas as a driver to someone, it would be your grandmother.
Yeah.
Like he drives so slow, so cautious, to the point where like if I pay attention too much, I'm like, oh my gosh, like speed up, please. But like he got 100 on his driving test. She was like, we don't give out hundreds. But like he is just the typical first child, and he's a really good driver. Like it's just I don't worry about him at all. Like Leah, this might be a lot more stressful.
Jessie got her driver's license this summer also.
Oh wow.
And
I feel like she's so much younger than Nicholas. I don't know why.
They're the same age.
I know, but
she turned 16 this summer. Maybe she's less mature than him. She is the baby of the family.
Don't talk. Here's what I learned about when we went on a mission trip with Pastor Jay to Honduras and Jesse. Don't talk about Taylor Swift. Lord have mercy. She was so chill, easy to get along with. Jolyn mentioned Taylor Swift, something negative about Taylor Swift, and she said, she snapped out and was like, I will cut you.
She is a big Taylor Swift fan.
She's a Swiftie, isn't that what they call them? Swifties?
She is a true Swiftie.
Do you like that as a parent?
I'm indifferent to it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. I think there's a lot worse.
Indifference.
A lot worse singers that she could like. But so with Jessie driving, I've been her co-pilot, and there's a fine line between being laid back and not saying anything, and dying.
So she toes that line.
Yeah, she doesn't understand yielding. Like if you
does she think she gets to go?
Yeah.
Oh,
like she thinks she has the right of way, and we were pulling out of the high school the other day, and so we have a green light. They have a green light. We're turning left on the Highway 78. They're coming straight. So she almost just pulled
right out in front.
I'm like,
which would have been you, by the way. That was on that's on your side that you get to get
And
slapped.
afterwards, I told her, Jessie, I'm 55 years old. Like, I might have a heart attack. You're going to kill me.
God,
I'm too old for this. I just turned 55 this summer. 55. That sounds old, doesn't it?
That is old.
Yeah, it is old.
I'm
pretty much close.
But this is awesome though. We need someone on the podcast that's an AARP.
I'm bringing.
You're a card carrying member, right? Like you got.
I am.
Yep.
I really am, and we're taking full advantage of it.
Thanksgiving. But here's
what
about
Brandon Lake concert.
Brandon Lake was fantastic.
We got all Taylor Swift, but what about Brandon Lake?
Brandon Lake and Phil Wickham was like going to church.
That was incredible.
And we didn't know Pastor Jay and them were going, but we saw them after the concert. But that was. If you have a chance to go see a concert, I would go see him.
That's probably the best concert I've ever been to.
I think we were all debating back and forth if it was the best concert we've ever seen. That's how good it is. And let me tell you something. With my wife, I've been to almost everybody. Like, unfortunately, like country concerts.
You're a concert goer.
No. She is.
Okay.
So yes, I go with her.
I'm not really the type of person who goes to concerts.
Well, what if your wife wanted to?
I wouldn't.
You would be the person that would go to concerts. That's my life. So that's happy wife, happy life.
Country concerts.
We've gone to all of them. Okay. Yeah, we've been to, you name them, we've probably been to them. That was so good, man. It was just so good. But this is family goals, by the way. This is what you're going to get. We're going to talk in depth about our family and our struggles and what we're going through. And you'll hear some failures, and you'll hear about Jesse driving and Nicholas driving and Leah doing mess ups. But we'll continue to just tell you some stuff, and then we're going to work on ourselves and give you areas and tips and things, just practical ways to apply stuff to your life that will help you, that unfortunately we learned the hard way, especially you. 55.
Yeah, I have a lot of wisdom, a lot of age to share with people. Who was I talking to? Oh, it doesn't matter. So one of the things during the sabbatical, we went out to Yosemite.
Yep.
And then we went to Lake Tahoe, which was super cool. So I saw something at Yosemite Park that I have never seen in my life. And I couldn't wait to.
In 55 years.
Couldn't wait to share it with you.
What was it?
It was a guy wearing a Michigan National Championship hoodie. Have you ever seen that before? I've never seen a Michigan National Championship gear. Like almost like, was that right? Did they win the national championship?
What a hater.
I'm not a hater, but
Michigan's
I've never seen that before.
Shots at Michigan fans right now across the bow. I love that. They had a great season. By the way, now coming out, obviously more of the scandal that goes with the Michigan football and the guy that stole signs. And there's a Netflix documentary coming out. So
really?
So the NCAA is, they're going to start trying to levy punishment. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes from there with that. But no, that is definitely not something I've seen.
So, yeah, and so the other thing that's happened to me this summer, on at least 3 occasions, maybe 5, I'm getting old, I can't remember, people have mistaken me for Jim Harbaugh. Like when I have a hat on and my golf...
Stare right into this camera real quick.
So when I have my hat on and have my golf glasses, like these little...
Stare that camera down. I want people to look at you and
Oakleys.
see... Do you see Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, Jim, 3 times. Like,
well, I mean, okay, let's
Jim Harbaugh.
Let's break this down. The bodies are similar, the old man bodies.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll
and I have the glasses.
You
and
have the
hat.
glasses. The glasses are similar. The age, y'all are close.
I don't know how. Yeah, probably.
I bet you Jim's probably right in that age group, right in that age realm. So, I mean,
former athlete. Why are you laughing?
Tennis player, no. No. Division II tennis player and an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, there are a lot of things I could have done. It just
Jim Harbaugh's 60, by the way.
Oh, is he 60?
He's 60.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get that, like so I get the wrinkly face and the stuff that goes with that. So I mean, listen, you could do worse.
Yeah. Yeah, so I used to get...
You need to use that to your advantage somehow,
I used to get Retief Goosen back in the day.
The golfer.
Yeah, the golfer, Retief Goosen. And he's
South African, right?
And he's older, too. And the other person I get is the guy from the Chef Show.
Branson,
Hell's Kitchen.
What's his name?
Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, well, I've gotten that several times.
Okay.
And
I actually see that more than Jim Harbaugh. But your attitude isn't like him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they all have a thicker head of hair than me, like all those guys. But I guess
you got solid hair for 55. That's my only compliment.
You trying to win me over?
Yeah, that's the only win of the day.
What are you wanting?
So we'll usually have good banner, but also, tell me about the King's Table. You had something.
You want to get in some good content for today? Well, I will say there's a lot of people who I don't even know DMing me and emailing me. Somehow they found my email, wanting the Family Goals podcast to are we going to get it going again? So,
well, the good thing is it'll be every Monday from here on out. We're not going to take very many sabbaticals anymore. We'll keep it consistent.
We got it going again.
Yeah, so we got to go. We'll have some guests on too in the future. We've been kicking around some guys to have on that I think you'll really appreciate. Just kind of hearing their story. You'll know who they are, whether it's golfers or football coaches or all kinds of people,
NFL quarterbacks.
Walks. Yeah, different people in different walks that you'll know of that just kind of share their story and share their faith, which is a lot of what we're going to continue to do is share ours and different ways to live out their faith and what has inspired them and motivated them across their path and their journey.
Yeah, so the content I had for our very first episode, I think the guys get a big kick out of, and I think mostly guys watch or listen to the podcast. Some of the ladies. Hopefully,
our wives, that's about it.
Hopefully none of the daughters are listening.
Oof.
But I want to talk about the King's Table. And so we talk a lot about foxhole friends, like having someone in the foxhole with you. And when you think about a foxhole friend, how would you define a foxhole friend? What would be the characteristics of a foxhole friend for you?
Somebody who's got your back no matter what, no matter the situation is, no matter what you've done wrong, no matter what you've done right. Literally, they're going to support you, come to your defense, try to help in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. So they got your back,
no matter what.
They're there with you.
Even if I was completely in the wrong and did something stupid, they're going to come beside me and pick me up and love on me. Mm-hmm. If I was completely in the right and I did something's going on. I don't think it matters the circumstance. They will always be there for me.
They're there no matter what. So the King's Table is like taking the whole foxhole friend, but defining it into 3 different people. Okay. And so I got this from a guy named Matt Chandler. He's pastor of Village Church out in Dallas, Texas area, and he was on. I'm going to get this right. The Undaunted Life podcast, a man's podcast. A guy named Kyle Thompson. Okay. So they were talking about this idea of the King's Table, and it really intrigued me. And he's talking about
we should get him on.
King David.
That's another guy.
We get Matt Chandler on?
Yeah.
He would be good. Maybe we can get this Kyle Thompson on.
Well, somebody to talk about it. Anyways, go ahead. My bad.
Man's man kind of stuff. And so he's talking about the king's table, and he's using King David as the example. And he used three different things, three different men that were in King David's life. And the first one is very similar to the foxhole friend. He said everybody needs a Jonathan. And so Jonathan and David were like best friends. They were kindred spirits. They were like buddies. And so we all need like a buddy you can count, similar to the foxhole friend. They're there for you no matter what. Like if you have something, like if something bad happens in your life, something bad happens in your family, who are you calling?
Yeah.
That's like who
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is going to be there for you no matter what? And then like, they're at the hospital bed. They're wherever they're getting in the car and they're driving over. They're your friend that you can count on. So we talked about everybody needs a Jonathan. I think we understand that. We know that.
Yeah.
But then the second thing is he said everybody needs a Joab. Now Joab was the general of the army, and everybody needs somebody like if you want to go pick a fight with somebody, like you're gonna get in the case. Think about it in high school, like hey, we're gonna go pick a fight with a rival high school.
We did that. I got a good story about that.
Like, who's getting in the car with you to go pick a fight? Like you got to fight. Like,
well, it's not who's getting in the car; it's how many cars are coming.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, I want to hear about this high school fight now. Let's hear that story.
You want to hear it now?
Yeah, let's hear it right now.
I was a freshman in high school. My brother was a senior. I was in summer school because I failed a class, so this kind of gives you an idea of where I was at in my life. And literally, this kid from a rival high school was talking trash. And, back then, rival high schools really meant something. Mm-hmm. And he was like, and we started, pushing and then back and forth. He was like, all right, you get your buddies, I'll get my buddies. We'll go meet after this. Well, it was a neighborhood right next to Shallow High School, the fine establishment that is Shallow High School. Yes, where I went to school. And the school he went to was Parkview. I'll go ahead and put that out there. I'm not going to say the name.
What was the mascot for Shallow?
Shallow Generals.
Generals.
With the Generals, baby. Central Gwinnett was the Knights. But he says, so I call my brother and I call my football friends. And when I say we had, I'm going to play it on the safe end. When I say we had 15 to 20 cars, at least. And they pull up with like 2 carloads of people, and they pull up to the spot, and they pull up, and then they peel right back out because literally we had
like an army.
We had a ton of people ready to throw down. Which again, not my brighter moments. I'm talking literally about myself being at summer school because I failed a class and then trying to fight. So. Family goals, welcome back. Because that's just
we're not necessarily promoting fighting.
No,
but the whole idea. Like I'll give you a good illustration or example. So Mark Hanley, who's on our staff, his daughter, his oldest daughter, was in a difficult situation in South Georgia, and he needed to go down there, and he was going to have to deal with a guy that she didn't need to be around. I don't want to go into too many details.
Yeah. But
it's like, who's he taking with him? Who's he taking with him? To pull her.
Did he take you
out of this? He didn't take me.
That's a surprise.
I'm the Jonathan.
He didn't want the muscle.
I'm the buddy.
He didn't want the muscle. Okay.
He took a guy by the name of Kenny Rogers.
Should you be putting names out there with this?
Maybe not.
I might not put names out there with all of this if you're trying not to share the information with people. Like I don't know if there's
not the famous.
Now, do pastors have the lawyer like teach or privilege? What is that like? Client privilege relationship? I mean, I feel like we should have some of that in your life. I don't feel like.
Well, I think Mark would share this story, and I'm pretty sure he was going to share it in a sermon.
Are you sure? Because
I'm pretty sure.
Anyways,
but I'm not giving the details.
Okay.
But he took the guy with him who had a gun. Like get the guy with the gun.
He took the muscle.
He took the muscle. And so that was his Joab. Like if you're gonna. You need to go rescue Leah from a situation. She's in a bad situation. You need to take somebody with you that's going to be able to hold their own.
Bring some muscle. Gotcha.
And you probably got tons of people like this.
I got some big boys in my arena.
You got who? I don't know.
Russ Tanner. Come on. Russ Tanner's almost 300 pounds. I mean, yeah.
Is he mean?
Chris Cagle. He
seemed like a nice guy.
He's not mean, but he's big.
Yeah. You got some mean guys. You got some mean, tough guys.
I got some guys. But the older we get, the softer we get. So we're not getting any meaner. That's for sure. But yeah, we could find some guys.
You might be my guy. Are you packing?
No, I'm not.
You're not packing?
I'm not packing. But you
You
know,
got some friends that are packing. You got some guys with
100%.
some
I got
9 mils.
all of my buddies are. Here's the thing. I'm getting Norm Pollack. Norm Pollack's always packing.
Norm.
I've never been around, like Norm Pollack doesn't leave a sporting event until like we're gone. And Norm's in the parking lot, and I can promise you, like at least one, he's taking care of things. So
he's your Benaiah. Like he's your bodyguard.
Norm,
he Benaiah in the Bible. He was David's bodyguard.
Norm is definitely going to make sure that everybody's taken care of. He's a stud. And Norm is, by the way, my dad is all of 5'10", 5'11", $185. But he's definitely a protector.
By the way, your mom made Jennifer and I a pound cake.
She makes good pound cake.
It's the best. It's the longest pound cake I've ever seen in my life. I mean, we had to cut that puppy in half.
If you're going to do it right.
I've been eating on that thing. That's
See,
best pound cake ever.
I appreciate.
Do you eat your mom's pound cake?
No, absolutely not. I appreciate that Kelly Pollack would do that for you, but like if I would have given her some advice, it'd be not to, because you don't need that in your life. We're trying to like tone that up. We're trying to. By the way, you don't look bad though. For a summer, you look solid. You don't look like you gained too much weight. I've seen you come back from some summer sabbaticals, retaining a lot of water.
Yeah, I miss the weight room a lot this summer.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's a sabbatical from the weight room.
But you didn't eat too much. And by the weight room,
I'm kind of heavy right now.
By the weight room, you mean the sauna?
Well,
that's a workout for Pastor Jay, is getting in the sauna.
Okay, so you built a podcast room in your basement. I built a whole sauna room.
I
got a whole sauna room now.
Do you have dumbbells in there?
No, I have a weight room.
Oh, okay.
I have a weight room. I have a sauna. I don't see your weight room down here anywhere.
I have one outside.
Oh, you got the gym. That's right.
Yeah, you can recant that comment, brother. I got a whole gym, man. We didn't do a little.
I got my 20-pound dumbbells down.
Okay, so you got Joab.
Okay, Joab. Joab is, if you're going to go pick a fight,
he's your dude.
He's your dude.
Okay.
Jonathan is your buddy. He's the guy you like to hang with. Like
Jonathan.
if you're going to go to lunch with somebody, you're going to go hang out. I know you probably don't even eat lunch. You're going to eat By the way, I have been eating mush and the protein bars that you sent me.
Yeah, baby.
And the beef sticks.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've been trying to eat healthy.
Bear protein bars
snacks.
are the best one you can have. Like if you're looking for a protein bar out there,
they taste good.
They taste ridiculous, and they're the healthiest for you. Bear Bell. We need to get a sponsorship. Like we're gonna get Wes on that too.
I ended up ordering.
It tastes the best. It has the least amount of ingredients. It doesn't have the sugar. Like Bear Bell is the way.
Are we gonna get a sponsorship for Bear Bell?
I mean, we're gonna work on it. And then the Chomp Sticks is the other one you were on. Chomp Sticks are awesome.
The beef sticks.
So good. I mean, just good for you, lean protein. Like you're killing it. That's what I'm talking about. That's why
the mush.
And the mush.
And
so you got to get the oats with the good stuff. Just take out. You don't want the sugar. The sugar's the bad stuff.
Yeah, I ended up ordering. What's the store? It's not Sam's. Costco. Ended up ordering the same exact protein bar as Barbell, but it was less expensive.
Bear Bell.
But it didn't taste nearly as good.
No. See? Why are you trying to mess the game up? Just get what I tell you to
I'm
get.
a frugal person.
Yeah, just get what I tell you to get.
Yeah, I bet I choked those things down. Yeah. I can't remember the name of them. So we got Joab, we have Jonathan. And then the third person around your king's table is Nathan. And Nathan was the older prophet. And so you need an older man who can speak wisdom into your life.
Who's already lived it. Who's already
lived it.
Already had those emotions and those ups and downs.
And they're not afraid to speak the truth. Like they're going to call you. You need someone in your life that's not your buddy, but you need someone who can call you out. Like when you're in sin, when you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, when you're making a bad decision, or you need some wisdom. Hey, I need someone older I can reach out to. So Nathan was the prophet. And after David screwed up, the Bathsheba, Uriah.
Yeah.
So Nathan's the one that shows out and points his sin out to him. And so you need someone older in your life that you can give you some wisdom. Well, do you have anyone like that?
100%. But when you get older, I think you lose your filter as much. I can speak for my wife. Like her give a dang starts to bust as she gets older, and she cares less of what people think. And I don't necessarily think that person has to be older. I think that person, there's a lot of people, like I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm not going to be the person that's going to make you feel good. So my mom calls me a lot of times about certain situations, and she kind of knows she's going to get the truth. And if you call me, I'm going to give you, I have another buddy that's going through all kinds of family stuff. And he calls me all the time. And he was like, I just know you're going to shoot me straight. And I'll be like, bro, this sounds like you need to do something about it. Like, this sounds like a you problem, not them. Because if he's pointing towards something they're doing, I might say, what about what you're doing? And here's the problem about that is a lot of people, when they have Nathans around, they get defensive and they don't want to hear it. The question is, are you okay with having people in your life that will challenge you to make you better, and you can take it in a way where they're trying to help you, not where they're trying to cut you down or hurt you? And that's where you've got to be mature enough. And a lot of times you don't hang out with people like that because you don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you stay away from people like that for a reason. But those people are huge,
and it may be where we can make our king's table whatever we want it to be. But maybe it's that someone who it's
our table,
has the gift of prophecy, who's going to speak truth into your life. They're going to speak God's word into your life. They're not afraid to call you out, because I'm sure you have a lot of people that just want to be around you, and they're going to kind of go with the flow, and they're not necessarily going to call you out. I mean, you have people in your life that are going to call you out. I mean, you're always calling other people out, but what about people calling you out?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like Russ Tanner, Brent Rollins, two people right away, like, will always shoot me straight. Like, I know my wife is the king, by the way, the queen. Like, if I don't want it, I'm still going to get it. Like,
I think Lindsay and Jennifer have a lot in common there.
Yeah. I mean, my wife, and listen, that's what's so important. Listen, here's what I've noticed. As we get older, and obviously you're further down the path, a lot further down the path, but like, it's also, you get more ornery. You get more stuck in your ways. You get more get off my lawn. And like, I told my wife, I'm like, baby doll, we got to hold each other accountable with this. Like, you've got to call me out and she'll tell me. I mean, she's like, you're being a little bit of a grumpy old man. Because I'll be honest, like with my kids, and we can get into this in another episode later, like, you know, there's struggles now with them, because my prayer recently, I've had to pray this a lot, is God, just help me to see life through their eyes. Because I don't remember what it's like to be a kid anymore. Like, I remember what it's like to be 16, because that was a huge moment. But like, I don't remember the little moments of being a kid and some of the stupid things and the things that were so insignificant that now I look at them and I'm like, what are we talking about? Why are we talking about this? And I got to take myself back, and I really got to do a better job of seeing life through their eyes so I can give them the best wisdom, so I can give them the best advice, because as we get older, I think it's harder and harder to do that.
Well, I think being a kid these days is a lot more complex and complicated than it was.
It is.
When we were kids, especially when I was a kid growing up in the 70s. There was no internet. There was no cell phones. There was no social media.
Thank God we're not on social media yet.
Completely different world. So I think wrapping up this first episode, and hope everybody's excited that we're back. You know, the Family Goals is back, season 7. Who is around your king's table? So I think one is identifying who is the Jonathan in your life, who is the Joab in your life, who is the Nathan in your life, and I might even throw Benaiah in there. You know, who's your bodyguard?
Yeah.
Who's packing? You know, who's carrying a 9 mil?
Things you get on Family Goals. Who's got the gun?
Who's got the gun to keep us all safe?
But I think that's a smart exercise.
But then, are you going to get together with these people? Like, are y'all going to meet? Are you going to? So I started doing this with a group of guys. So you're
starting to invest in those people that you know would invest in you.
Yeah. So we're getting together once a month.
That's pretty cool.
Having breakfast together.
That's cool. I like that.
And you know, the Nathan, the Joab, the Jonathan, and I don't know that any of the guys is a true Joab. And I wouldn't say I'm a real Joab either. But I mean, if you need me to go fight, I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm in.
You're gonna get beat up.
I'm in. I might get beat up. You know.
Yeah, I think you get to the age where you don't
bring my tennis racket with me.
How about this? So that's the challenge. And this is, listen, you gotta be very intentional with this in your life. If you want to develop those relationships as you get older, and you want those people to be around. And then, what are you in people's lives? Are you taking time to be? Are you taking time to be a Jonathan? Are you taking those moments that you're given, and those opportunities that you're given to encourage people, to defend them, to show up when they need you to show up? Because, you know, that's what it should look like. What you want it to look like with your friends, or what your friends are modeling for you that you admire and respect. Like, use those as things for you that you can say, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show up. And that doesn't mean you have to always have the right words. And that's, I learned that more than anything with Jeff and Jody. Like, it's just about showing up. about saying the perfect words. It's just about being there. So we all have great people in our lives, but like invest in those that you know are going to invest in you, that have made it a priority to invest in you, because those are relationships you're going to want to keep continuing to pour into and sustain for a long period of time.
Yeah, you want to, whoever you want to be in your life, you want to be that in their life or in somebody else's life. And we get so busy, we get so caught up in our own worlds.
It's easy.
And so one of the things I do, if God puts someone in my mind, like you just randomly think about somebody.
Yeah.
If I have their number, I'll just text them and reach out to them and say, hey, thinking about you today, praying about you. Is there anything I can do for you? Yeah. But I used to not do that. I might think about, so I'm starting to try to do that more, trying to build those relationships. So good episode 1
in the books, baby.
Season
7, episode 1.
We are old, man.
I
feel like
old.
We're growing old together. Are we growing old together?